Have you ever clicked that tempting buy now pay later button and thought, wow, this feels like free money, but what if I told you it could also be one of the sneakiest traps in your wallet? Today we're unpacking what no one really tells you about these services, and you'll want to stick around because I'm going to reveal the biggest mistake beginners make and how to avoid it. Number 1. What does buy now pay later actually mean? Let's start simple. Buy now pay later, often called BNPL, lets you split a purchase into smaller payments over time, usually without interest if you pay on time. You've probably seen names like Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, or PayPal's Pay in 4, for example. You see a pair of sneakers online for $120. Instead of paying all at once, BNPL lets you pay $30 now and $30 every 2 weeks. Sounds easy, right? It's basically like a short-term loan, without all the scary loan paperwork. But here's the catch, and we'll get to that soon. Number 2. Why people love BNPL. BNPL exploded in popularity in the USA. In fact, over 50% of Americans have used it at least once, according to a LendingTree survey. Why? Well, it feels less painful than paying everything up front. Let's say you're on a tight budget, but you need a new winter coat for $200. BNPL helps you walk out with that coat today and spread the payments over a month or two. Another reason people love it: no interest if you pay on time. It can also feel more manageable than putting it on a credit card. And let's be honest, it feels good to get what you want right now. Number 3. The fine print you probably didn't read. Here's where the story takes a turn. BNPL companies market themselves as no fees, no interest, but only if you pay on time. Miss a payment, and some services charge late fees. Others report your missed payments to credit bureaus, which can hurt your credit score. And here's a sneaky detail: because it doesn't always show up on your credit report, you could end up juggling multiple BNPL plans at once and not even realize how much you owe. For example, I once coached someone who thought she owed about $200. But when we tallied all her open BNPL plans, it was closer to $850. Ouch. Number 4. How BNPL affects your credit. This one surprises a lot of beginners. Some BNPL services don't report your payments to credit bureaus, which means paying on time doesn't always help your credit score. But if you miss payments, some of them do report. It's like getting punished but not rewarded. An example: you buy a $500 laptop and miss 2 payments. That gets reported and your score drops, even though making all payments on time wouldn't have boosted it. It feels unfair because, in a way, it is. Number 5. BNPL versus credit cards. Which is better? This is a question I get all the time. Let's compare. Credit cards charge interest if you carry a balance, but many offer rewards, fraud protection, and help you build credit if used wisely. BNPL, on the other hand, usually has no interest, but no rewards, and you don't always build credit. So if you're disciplined and want rewards, a credit card might be better. If you're buying something small and want to avoid interest, BNPL can work, but don't fall into the trap of thinking BNPL is better just because it's trendy. Number 6. The emotional trap of BNPL. Here's what most people don't talk about. BNPL makes it dangerously easy to overspend. Why? Because breaking a big price into smaller chunks tricks your brain into thinking it's affordable. It's called payment illusion. For example, you might never drop $800 on a new phone outright, but at just $200 every 2 weeks, suddenly it feels doable. Before you know it, you're juggling 3 or 4 BNPL plans, and your paycheck's already spoken for. I've seen clients end up paying half their income to cover BNPL and credit card bills at the same time. It's not a good feeling. Number 7. How to use BNPL the smart way. Now, let's talk strategy. BNPL isn't all bad if you use it smartly. Here are some golden rules. Only use it for things you absolutely need, not nice-to-haves. Make sure you can afford the full price today, even if you're paying over time. For example, if you need a new car tire for $300 and you already have $300 in your account, but you'd rather keep some cash for emergencies, BNPL might make sense. Set reminders for payment dates so you never miss, and never stack multiple BNPL plans. Keep it to one at a time. Number 8. The biggest mistake beginners make. Alright, here's the big one. The biggest mistake I see beginners make is treating BNPL like free money. It's not. It's debt. Every BNPL plan is a loan, even if it doesn't feel like one. For example, a young client of mine racked up $1,200 in BNPL plans on clothes, shoes, and gadgets. She missed a few payments, got hit with fees, and her credit took a hit. She thought, but it's just BNPL, not real debt. Wrong. It's real debt, and it follows you. Number 9. What to do if you're already in trouble. If you're already feeling overwhelmed with BNPL payments, don't panic. You're not alone, and there's a way out. First, list out all your BNPL plans and how much you owe on each. Second, contact the BNPL companies. Some will waive late fees if you call and explain. Third, create a simple budget. Figure out how much you can pay each week to clear your balance. And finally, stop using BNPL while you pay things down. A little discipline now saves you a lot of pain later. Number 10. The future of BNPL and why you should care. Here's something you might not know. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in the USA is cracking down on BNPL companies because of all the consumer complaints. In the future, we might see stricter rules, more transparency, and even BNPL plans showing up on your credit report. That could be good or bad, depending on how you use it. So stay informed and keep an eye on how these services evolve. Number 11. Why BNPL feels so tempting. Let's be real. BNPL is designed to feel good. That's not an accident. It's psychology at work. When you shop online and see pay $25 today instead of $100, your brain lights up. It releases a little hit of dopamine because it feels like you just got a deal. Stores love BNPL because customers tend to spend more when they use it. One study found that shoppers spent about 20 to 30% more when using BNPL than if they paid in full. Here's an example. A man told me he went to buy a $300 gaming console, but because of BNPL, he added a few games, a headset, and a controller, and walked out with $700 in purchases. Why? Because it only added another $15 here and $20 there to his payments. Sneaky, right? Number 12. Common myths about BNPL. There are a few myths about BNPL I hear all the time. Let's bust them. Myth 1. BNPL is safer than a credit card. Not always. Credit cards often have more consumer protections for fraud, and you can dispute charges more easily. Myth 2. BNPL won't hurt your credit. We already talked about how some companies report missed payments. So yes, it can hurt your score. Myth 3. BNPL is interest-free. That's only true if you pay every single payment on time. Miss one, and the fees can feel like interest real quick. Number 13. When BNPL makes sense. Let's not throw BNPL under the bus completely. There are times when it actually makes sense. For example, you need to replace a broken fridge. It costs $1,000, and you don't want to wipe out your emergency fund. You can afford the payments over the next month, so you use BNPL. That's a responsible use. Or maybe you're buying a gift for your kid and the payments fit comfortably in your budget. As long as you have the money and you're just spreading out the payments for convenience, no problem. The key is knowing yourself and being honest about what you can actually afford. Number 14. Why BNPL is so popular with young people. Younger Americans, especially those in their 20s and early 30s, are driving the BNPL boom. Why? Many don't have strong credit yet, or even a credit card, so BNPL feels easier. Plus, younger shoppers are more used to apps, instant checkout, and digital wallets. It fits their lifestyle, but younger shoppers also have less experience managing debt, which is why so many end up overwhelmed. I coached a college student who had 4 BNPL plans running at once, on top of her rent and food costs. It got stressful fast. Number 15. Tips to stay out of trouble. Here are some final quick tips to keep you in control. Always read the terms before you click agree. Use reminders or set up autopay so you never miss a payment. Treat BNPL like a loan, because it is one. And my favorite rule, if you wouldn't buy it with cash today, don't buy it with BNPL. That simple rule alone has saved so many people from making bad decisions. Number 16. The emotional cost of too much BNPL. Here's one thing we don't talk about enough: the stress. Carrying too many BNPL payments can feel like a cloud hanging over you. One client told me she felt like her whole paycheck was already gone before she even got it. That kind of financial stress can spill over into your sleep, your relationships, even your health. It's not worth it just to get a new phone or some sneakers a few weeks earlier. Number 17. What happens if you don't pay? So what if you just stop paying? It's not pretty. The BNPL company can charge late fees, send your account to collections, and hurt your credit score. Some people think it's not a real loan. They won't come after me. Wrong. Even a $50 BNPL balance can end up as a collections account on your credit report. That can make it harder to get an apartment, car loan, or even a job later. Number 18. How BNPL companies make money. Have you ever wondered, if there's no interest, how do these companies even make money? Good question. They charge the retailer a small fee every time you use BNPL. But here's the kicker. They're also betting that a percentage of customers will miss a payment. And that's where the late fees and interest kick in. So while they want you to use it, they're not exactly rooting for you to be perfect. So now you know, BNPL can be a helpful tool or a sneaky trap, depending on how you use it. Have you ever used Buy Now, Pay Later? Did it feel like a smart choice or something you regretted? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your story.